I am pleased to announce that Reclaim Idaho, this grassroots group of volunteers, now has an estimated 40,000 valid signatures on our petition to get Medicaid expansion on the ballot in November. We need 56,192, so we're well on our way to meet the state total required by the May 1st deadline. But we need hundreds of volunteers in these final weeks to get 6% of registered voters in 18 different districts, which is now required for a ballot initiative. We're on pace to qualify 7 of the 8 Ada County districts and many other districts throughout the state. But we are actively recruiting volunteers to canvass in Canyon County the next 2 Saturdays to qualify District 12 in Nampa and District 10 in Caldwell. If we succeed there, this initiative can happen. We encourage people to volunteer now at medicaid4idaho.org. I am also pleased to announce that organizations from Close the Gap, which is a coalition of medical providers and healthcare advocates, have joined the Medicaid Expansion ballot campaign that will allow voters to decide. Voters need to decide if Idaho should accept the estimated $500 million annually that provides coverage for the uninsured. Close the Gap organizations have worked for years on potential legislative solutions to the healthcare crisis that refusing Medicaid expansion has caused. Now they will help our efforts to let the people of Idaho decide. Representatives from some of these organizations are here today and available for interviews. Next, I'd like to introduce Ada County Co-Chair, Tracy Olson.
Thanks, Sam. Thank you. And I just want to thank all the volunteers who've been working so hard throughout the state to gather signatures since this campaign started. We're really proud of the effort. But I also want to say the Idaho legislature gets an F for not doing its job this year. The legislature, as Sam mentioned, continues to leave $500 million a year on the table that should go to Idahoans. In the last 4 years, that means Idaho has left $2 billion in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, people are dying here in Idaho. For both fiscal and moral reasons, we must accept the funds that expanding Medicaid provides. So it's time for the people of Idaho to decide this issue. But as Sam said, we absolutely need more volunteers. So please, I ask you to go to Medicaid4idaho.org. You can find events to volunteer at, and I urge you to please help this effort. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you.